Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Chris Shaffer and Ed Noriega, here to talk about the Big Read program here at Troy University. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
And first off, we've got talking about a reading program. So, Chris, you're a library, you're director of library, so that makes sense. Ed, you're art, so we'll talk a little bit about how you get integrated into a reading program in a second. But first off, Chris, just kind of talk about this program and in general and what it is and what this means for the university to be a part of it. So,
The Big Read is a community-wide reading effort. We're doing this one in Montgomery through our Rosa Parks Library, and it's sponsored by the NEA. And so this year, Alyssa Martin got a $15,000 grant to host a Big Read based around the book Citizen by Claudia Rankin, so I mess up her name, and so we're going to be giving away about 2,000 books involving public schools, Trenholm State, the public library system in Montgomery. Just a great thing.
and the purpose is to spread the joy of reading and getting books in people's hands and having them and maybe expose them to something they may not have normally read, correct?
Absolutely.
And so, and with this, why is it so important? Because this is the third year the university has been a part of this program. Why is it so important to have opportunities like this and for the university to provide opportunities like this?
Well, I think there are a lot of reasons. One of my favorite examples is, I think, in spite of all of the technology that we have today, we have become such a fragmented society. And, we're all living in our social media universe where we have unfollowed everybody who thinks anything slightly different than us. And by having the physical book and getting together in group settings, we actually are able to interact as a community. And I think that's probably my favorite thing about the Big Read.
Well, and let's talk about that. And that's where Ed kind of comes in here because the themes of this, your classes, have kind of gotten in the community and worked one-on-one directly related to this book, right?
Yes, as a matter of fact, this is not the first year that the graphic designers have been involved with the Big Read program. For the past 2 years, we've actually done promotional work like posters and T-shirt design for the Big Read programs. This year is slightly different. Well, it's radically different because this year the students are actually creating pieces with other students, and I'll go into that in just a little bit. But initially, my students are asked to read the book and then to produce a design piece from that. This year, what we were asked to do was to read the book, and because the book was so interesting, we conducted a workshop just talking about the book and the issues in the book. And it really opened up a great deal of discussion, and there was a substantial dialogue about feelings about racism and race in America, that it really made for a very lively conversation. It also made for a way for people to be able to share their thoughts on racism and questions they had about race, and in particular, Black America. So my students were asked to, this was last semester, they were asked to produce posters to promote the program. This semester we did the same thing with a different group of design students, and again we had a lively discussion related to the book. And then we were asked to, we had 5 graphic design students, including myself, go to Montgomery, and we met with a group of 15 high school students at Jefferson Davis High School. And these students were asked to also read the book, and when we got there, we had a lively discussion about the book and about issues related to Black America. And then the high school students were asked to create artwork. And they did. The artwork was sent to us, and now my designers are creating posters that incorporate every student's artwork using typography and using type. And we're going to display this exhibit on March 5th at Rosa Parks Museum. There'll be probably around 60 posters, and they are incredible. To be able to have a collaboration that talks about race in America And to be able to do this with high school students not only empowers them, but it gives them a voice to be able to be heard. And this is the one thing that I learned that I learned so quickly about the results of this book, is that it opens up things and allows you to freely ask questions and think about who we are as a society, but also who we are individually and how we see race.
Well, obviously an opportunity for folks to see the product of this in March, and I know it's an exciting opportunity to see what this has brought about with your students and the students in Montgomery. And I want to thank you both for here to tell me about this project. And I know that folks in March, you said March 5th at the Rosa Parks Museum, have a chance to see this work come to life on the walls in an exhibit there. I want to thank you both for joining us here today.
Thank
you. And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.